Chapter 1 opened not with a sunrise, but with a scream. A boy, blood-soaked, staggering, barely holding his sword upright, faced a hulking, demon-like monster. In this world, the gods were long dead. Gold was the only divinity left, and those who once prayed now bowed before the archon engineers, treating them as gods. Humanity had willingly shackled itself into slavery. And in the middle of that ruin stood the boy, sword trembling in his hands. "How is any of this fair?" he roared, voice cracking. The demon responded with a guttural growl, raising its monstrous arm for the final blow. The boy screamed, swinging with all the rage and despair inside him. When their attacks collided, boom! A blinding explosion swallowed everything. And then, the screen cracked. Because all of this was happening inside an apocalypse fantasy game called Arcane Soul. What the? Kim Jasu slammed his desk so hard his keyboard nearly catapulted across the room. On the monitor, his character collapsed in defeat. "These stupid pay-to-win games," he yelled. "How is this fair? How can a broke, free-to-play player like me enjoy anything here?" Inside the game, the Demon King casually glanced at Kim's avatar, scratching his ear. "As a F2P, you did great," the Demon King said. "But," he smirked, "I wasn't even controlling my character. Auto mode, you know." The Demon King burst out laughing. His ID floated above him. "Rich Heavenly Demon Chan, haven't seen an F2P fight this well and still get beaten to a pulp. Thanks for the entertainment." Kim's eye twitched. Then he exploded. "How is this fair? I spent 10,000 hours. I lost to a rich dude. What kind of game is this, a lottery?" Still fuming, he continued his daily routine out of habit. Daily quests, daily chores, and then, daily free pull. He tapped it with the dead heart of a man expecting disappointment. A traffic light turned red outside as he did. But fate had other plans. SSR Heavenly Demon, Platinum only, obtained. Kim froze. Huh. He blinked once. Twice. Wah, WAAAIT, what? The Heavenly Demon. The rarest character in the entire game. The 0.006% drop. He spun around in his room like a lunatic. Then grinned. A wicked, triumphant grin. Hee, now I'll level him up. Fastest way. Easy. Sorry, my little free characters, but you're all express now. He fed every last warrior Kim into the Heavenly Demon. "Goodbye, my babies," he said dramatically, stepping outside while still staring at his phone. And then, hunk. Kim looked up. A truck blasted toward him at full speed. His phone slipped from his hand. Darkness followed. Ah. Kim opened his eyes in a hospital room. His leg was in a cast, his head bandaged. What is happening? How did a nurse rushed in. "Warrior Kim. You're awake." "Warrior, Kim," he repeated. She hurried to call the doctor. Kim, stunned, checked his patient file. Name, Warrior Kimmy. What kind of joke is this? Guilt stabbed him. Was this punishment for sacrificing all my Warrior Kims as express? Before he could think further, sharp pain shot through his leg. AAARGH. The nurse dashed back. "Warrior Kim, you can't move like that. Why does my leg hurt this much?" Moments later the doctor arrived. "You were hit by a truck," he said calmly. "Fortunately, no life-threatening injuries. But we'll run more tests, MRI and magic scans." "Magic?" Kim blinked. "What do you mean, magic?" After the tests, Kim went to settle his bill. "Your total is 22,037,569 won, the desk lady announced. Kim's soul vacated his body. 22 million. I was here for 4 days. You have no insurance, neither Legion insurance nor Magic Tower power insurance. Legion. Magic Tower. The words echoed in his mind. Legion. Mage Corps. Magic Tower. Holy Order. 4 factions, dominating Arcane Soul. His blood ran cold. No way, these are exactly the settings of Arcane Soul. Monsters everywhere. God abandoned humanity. Arcane science twisting human bodies for survival. This world was Arcane Soul. Kim staggered out of the building, trembling. I'm inside the game. He reached his tiny apartment, far smaller than his old one. Why is Warrior Kim so poor? He sighed. And what do I do now? I'll die here if I stay weak. Then a thought struck him. A dangerous one. One way to confirm, he grabbed a pen. Placed his hand on the table. And stabbed. Gah! Blood gushed. But then, a green glow wrapped around his wound. It closed instantly. A notification appeared before his eyes. Trait acquired, wound recovery. Kim's breath trembled. Just like the game. Warrior Kim, the tutorial character with no fixed traits, infinitely customizable. If I'm Warrior Kim, then I can gain every ability. He activated wound recovery fully. Every injury vanished. Kim clenched his fists. In Arcane Soul, the powerless die first. The unlucky die next. He exhaled. But I have something no one else here does. A decade's worth of game knowledge. I will survive this world, he whispered. No matter what. A smile, sharp and hungry, spread across his face. Well then, let's see what this Warrior Kim's body can really do. The moment Kim stepped into the player personnel office, the stale smell of paper and mana ink filled his lungs. He handed over his documents, and the man behind the desk, leaning back with both feet arrogantly propped on the table, glanced through them. Warrior Kim, isn't it? First time in the player personnel office. Kim nodded. Yes. I want to join the mana purification business. Inside, his thoughts churned. If I want to survive in this world, I need money. A lot of it. And in this weak Warrior Kim body, this is the only way. The man chuckled lazily. People may call it mana purification, but we both know what it actually is: dungeon clearing. He was Director John, head of the player personnel office. Kim scratched his head. Yes, I know. Do you? The director's eyes narrowed. Because there's no such thing written in your papers. Kim stiffened. Of course I know, how could I forget something this horrible? Mana purification team, its job was to clean contaminated mana. The very contamination that created countless monsters in Arcane Soul. Dungeon clearing. That was just a pretty name. The truth was disgusting, literally. People handled toxic mana waste every day, and too much exposure drove normal humans insane. Sometimes, they even mutated into monsters. Kim's eyes widened as he remembered seeing one such worker go berserk, mind corrupted, body twisted until he became a demon himself. Director John sighed. Fine. When we get enough people, I'll assign you to your first dungeon. His expression sharpened. But are you sure? I've seen many like you, come in full of spirit, go to a dungeon, and return empty-handed. Kim laughed. Don't worry. I'll always do better than you expect. I'm a free-to-play player. Grinding is what I do best. A rough voice suddenly cut in. So you're the little noob joining our team. Kim turned. A broad-shouldered man stared him down. Dear. Yes, I'm on your team, Kim said. Not by choice. I was assigned. Deer grabbed his collar. You think this is a playground? I don't see a shred of determination in your eyes. If you mutate in there, don't beg me to save you. If you turn into a monster, I'll kill you myself. Kim swallowed. Okay. I'll remember. So even in real life, high-rank players treat low-rank players like trash. But then Kim noticed his legs. Wait, an R-rank character. Without the awakened deer legs and horns. Why is he still unawakened? Another man arrived, Hajik. Deer, stop threatening newbies. We're already short on teammates. Deer clicked his tongue and let go. Do you honestly think he'll help us? He'll be nothing but dead weight. Soon, Deer clapped his hands. Enough. We've got 5 contaminated areas to clean in 4 days. Move. Kim glared at his back. She's even more toxic in real life. Hajik patted his shoulder. Don't mind him. He talks rough, but he comes through when things get serious. Really? Kim muttered. They arrived at the contaminated zone. A horrible stench drifted from behind the sealed gate. Even veterans pinched their noses. Opening the gate, Deer warned. The moment the hatch unlocked, a flood of green sludge poured out. Positions. Deer barked. Dozens of green slimes slithered in the murky chamber, contaminated slimes, the lowest-ranked monsters. Weak, but nearly impossible to kill. Their mana core had to be destroyed. Teammates panicked. We'll get affected by the contaminated mana before we even find the cores. Kim sprinted forward. Stay back. Someone yelled. Kim ignored him. He leapt into the air, shovel pointed downward. If this hits you, don't blame me. His shovel pierced the slime, attacking a worker, straight through its mana core. The slime burst, saving the man by mere inches. Kim grinned. Perfect warm-up. He dashed forward, smashing core after core in a single hit. Teammates stared in disbelief. How? He's one-shotting them. Well, why not? Kim thought proudly. Then he dropped to his knees, searching the floor like a child. A nearby kid whispered, "Grandma, what's that strange uncle doing?" Kim's eyes sparkled. Aha! He lifted a shiny 500 coin. A notification chimed, "Trait acquired, treasure hunter." Kim whooped with joy. This is Warrior Kim's most important skill. Before they even cleaned the area, he collected another trait, contamination resistance, after enduring the foul dump for hours. Traits appear when conditions are met, just like in the game. Warrior Kim could hold 6 traits, switching between them freely. Kim activated Treasure Hunter again. Its bonus let him detect slime cores like buried treasure. He defeated a giant slime, but it burst, showering the entire team with sludge. Deer shouted, "Don't let it touch you." When the goop cleared, Kim stood there drenched from head to toe. He licked his lips. My hard work is finally paying off. Contamination resistance glowed on his status. Resistance to every contamination type. Night fell. On the bus ride back, Kim slumped in exhaustion. Even with traits, working all day is rough. Hajik sat beside him. "Thanks to you, we're heading home early today." Kim blinked. "What are you doing here?" "It was amazing watching you," Hajik smiled. "Are you trying to awaken like deer?" "No. I just have military training. Helps with the shovel." "In that case," Hajik said, "you're incredible." 2 horns sprouted on his forehead. Kim stiffened. His mutation signs, they're getting worse. Too much exposure. "Hajik, you don't look good. Take a rest tomorrow." Hajik laughed weakly. "Watching my dad, the collector, is worse than mutating at work." Kim nodded. "Makes sense. Nobody takes this job willingly." 4 days later, it finally ended. Kim planted his shovel into the ground. Done. Finally. Workers drooped with exhaustion. Hajik suddenly vomited, his body twisting unnaturally. Kim's eyes widened. "I told him to rest," a rumble echoed. From behind, Deer called, "Kim. You look ready to go. Must be that youth. Honestly, I didn't expect you to survive. Good job." Kim smiled. "It was thanks to the team. And thanks to the new traits I got." Deer studied him. "Your condition isn't bad. Maybe our rankers really are built differently." Before Kim could reply, a chilling aura seeped into the air. Hajik trembled violently. His teammates ran toward him. "Hey, are you okay?" Deer sprinted over. "Hajik." Kim's heart sank. "No, don't tell me." Hajik's teeth stretched into fangs. Spines burst from his skin. His body ballooned. Then, boom. A massive explosion tore through the room. Dust swirled. A gigantic monster's foot slammed into the ground. Hajik was gone. In his place stood a towering mutant hedgehog beast, madness raging in its eyes. Kim swallowed hard. A mutated hedgehog, he's completely lost it. Deer lay injured nearby. The monster roared. Kim glanced at his trait list, every one of them specialized for dungeon cleaning, not combat. "My strength is nothing right now. I'm trapped. Completely trapped." Hajik's fist slammed into Kim's face like a steel hammer. The impact was so brutal that Kim's body shot backward, skidding across the ground as blood burst from his mouth. His thoughts trembled. The difference, our power gap is huge. If this keeps up, I might really die here. But just then, a notification flickered in his mind, a new trait awakened, endurance. Kim stared at it, stunned. Right, I have traits. Why am I giving up without even trying? I need to think. If I'm going to beat Hajig, I need to use my head. He pulled up his abilities, strength, boosting his physical power. Mana heart, helping him control his mana. Endurance, reducing incoming damage. Mana absorption and mana regeneration, restoring his energy. And finally, corruption resistance. Kim clenched his fists. All right. It's time to fight back. Hajig lunged toward him again, claws tearing through the air. But before he could reach Kim activated strength, his power surging more than tenfold. His shovel glowed with blinding green light. With one swing, boom. Hajig was launched high into the air. A grin broke across Kim's face. Yes. I can win this. But then he saw Haejig twist midair, curling into a tight ball. Kim's eyes widened. What is he? The ball rocketed toward him, bouncing off debris and landing directly above Kim's head. Shock froze him for a split second. Haejig slammed into the ground, shattering the earth, transforming back into his beast form as dust exploded around them. He noticed Kim's condition, barely scratched. Kim didn't waste a moment. He jumped into the air, activating endurance, his defense rising tenfold. But even then, damn, even with 10 times the defense, it still hurts. He punched Haejig from midair, desperate. If I don't keep attacking, I'll die here. He unleashed punch after punch. But Haejig's horn suddenly lashed upward, almost piercing Kim's skull. Kim dodged, but the next instant, dozens of horns burst from Haejig's body, stabbing into Kim from all directions. Kim crashed to the ground, gasping. His body was riddled with holes. Just a little longer. If I hold out, I can beat him. He swung his fist again, but the moment he threw the punch, his arm burst open, torn apart from the strain of tenfold strength on an already injured body. And Haejig responded by impaling him again with countless horns. Kim collapsed, screaming. I knew it, I could never beat something like this. Haejig raised a massive arm for a finishing blow. The punch came down like thunder, shockwaves ripping through the surroundings. As Kim's vision blurred, memories flickered. How easy everything felt when he played the game. Just pressing an attack button, enemies taking damage. I never thought what my character must have felt. Haejig squeezed Kim's broken body, trying to crush him completely. But Kim forced out a breath. For a strong trait, suffering is necessary. And he drove a fist straight into Haejig's jaw. The monster flew back, smashing through the rubble. A notification chimed. A new trait had awakened, mutant muscle. If I'm going to win this as a free-to-play player, I have to suffer for it. Kim realized the truth. The reason he pushed himself so recklessly, the reason he went all out, was because if he pushed mana, heart and strength to their limits, he would evolve. He would gain a new trait. Mutant muscle. Haejig roared and charged again. This time, Kim blocked the punch easily. Then countered with a flurry of blows, driving the monster back. But Haejig suddenly covered his fist in sharp spikes, and punched straight through Kim's chest. Blood burst from Kim's mouth. Is he still not using his full power? A black substance suddenly seeped out from Kim's body, his wounds knitted shut. A new trait awakened, mutated body. Kim stood up immediately. Thanks, he muttered, for giving me this power. Haejig attacked again. Their battle shook the entire area. Kim felt it, they were now on equal footing. Nearby, Deer woke up, hearing the massive explosions. He looked up, stunned to see Kim fighting a mutant on equal terms. Is that Warrior Kim? Or some kind of superhuman? How can he fight at a mutant level? Kim and Haejig clashed again, both were thrown back. Kim exhaled sharply. This won't be easy. Even if my size now matches his, I'm still at a disadvantage. But Haejig stood up, roaring, eyes filled with killing intent. Kim narrowed his eyes. This is dangerous, but I have no choice. He activated his newest trait, contamination resistance. And then, he deleted it. Deer stared in disbelief. Kim's body was mutating, changing rapidly. Within moments, Kim transformed into a massive mutated beast. Mana gathered inside his mouth, forming a dense sphere. He fired it, a devastating blast. Haejig was blown far, far away, crashing violently into the distance. Kim stared at his own hands. What am I? A monster. He turned, seeing Deer behind him. Deer trembled. He fought a mutant monster, and became one himself. How is that even possible? A new title formed in Kim's mind, Mutant Warrior Kim. Kim's condition was so terrifying that Deer instinctively tried to slip away, but before he could, Kim, still in his mutant form, slowly reached out a hand toward him. Deer's heart froze. This is it, I'm going to die here. But when he dared to open his eyes a few moments later, nothing had happened. Kim had already returned to his human form, collapsing to his knees with exhausted breaths. How? How can someone revert back to human form after mutating? Deer wondered, shaken. Kim wiped the sweat from his brow, panting. Finally, I did it. Only then did the truth become clear. The trait, corruption resistance, was the final line of defense. If someone deleted the trait while both mutant form and mutant muscle form were active, they would fully mutate again, beyond recovery. But Kim had gambled on one thing: if he could hold onto even a single clear thought while mutated, he could reactivate the trait. That was why he had reached his hand out in the first place, forcing his mind to focus. When his eyes opened again, he lay on the ground, breathing weakly. His body trembled uncontrollably. It feels like every bone and muscle is still shaking on their own. I never want to experience that state again, he whispered. With trembling legs, he stood up and walked toward the defeated Hijak, reaching into its mouth to pull out the mana core. A system message chimed in his mind: he had obtained a level 1 mana core. A huge grin broke across his face. He burst into laughter. Totally worth it. He swung his arms and legs happily. Level 1 core. Cleaning jobs really do pay off. Behind him, Deer spoke. Are you okay? You turned into a mutant a little while ago. What happened? Kim froze. If they spread rumors about this, it'll cause a massive headache. He smiled casually. I was just gambling with luck, whether I'd turn back human or not. Looks like I won. Deer didn't look convinced. Was that really luck? But before he could continue, Kim stuffed his hands full of slime mana cores and turned to leave. I need some fresh air. Deer and the others stared in disbelief at the pile of level 0 mana cores. As Kim walked away, he thought, I saved their lives, gave them all those mana cores. No way they'll leak my secret now. Deer simply watched him silently as Kim disappeared down the path. Kim headed to the Cyansan Force headquarters to meet the director. The director's eyes sparkled the moment he entered. I heard you faced a lot of trouble during mana cleaning. Were you alright? Kim laughed. Yeah, it was a bit rough, but everything worked out in the end. Inside, he wondered, why is he suddenly flattering me so much? You should have told me earlier that you're a superhuman, the director said proudly. I would have given you a much better job than cleaning. So he thinks I'm a superhuman, Kim realized. In the world of Arkansas, awakened superhumans were treated like nobles, each one received a unique ability and strength that could rival monsters. The director's logic made sense. Only a superhuman can defeat a mutant, he thought. But Kim had survived purely because of his traits. Soon, the director handed him his payment. Kim stared at the money bag. If he wants to believe that, I might as well let him. We received 50 million for the cleaning job, the director explained. 20% is our company's commission. After dividing the rest among your team, your share is 5 million. Then he slid a separate bundle forward. But for you, I'll take only 5% commission, not 20. Kim's eyes widened. 12 million. Seriously. A bright laugh escaped him. Being considered a superhuman really is amazing. As he left the office, he wondered where he should spend the newly earned money first. Then someone called him from behind. You seem in a great mood. Must have gotten a nice payment. Kim recognized him, a man from his cleaning team. He laughed. Of course I'm in a good mood. I just finished the job. The man hesitated before speaking. I'm here because, I want to ask a favor. Kim instinctively hid his money bag behind him. What kind of favor? My wife, she's very sick. I was wondering if you could lend me some money. He bowed deeply, apologizing. I know we only met once, but I'm desperate, Kim frowned. I shouldn't trust anyone here. Who knows when someone might stab me in the back. I barely have enough money to survive myself. But seeing the man bowing so pitifully, he sighed. Then he pulled him up gently. You shouldn't do that. You're older than me. He smiled and handed him a bag full of level 0 mana cores. If I don't help, I'll feel horrible. That night, the truth came out. The same man laughed maniacally in an alley. What an idiot. I pretended to be poor and he gave me a heap of mana cores. Deer stood nearby, arms crossed. Looks like he's new to this kind of business. He would have given me even more if I said my kid was sick too, the man sneered. But the annoying part is, he got paid way more than us. And he kept all the good monster parts for himself. We only got scraps. Deer's eyes sharpened. And he's not even a superhuman. Maybe I should give him a lesson. The man smirked. Got a plan. Deer chuckled. What do you think? Holding the mana cores in his hand, he crushed them easily. We know he's hiding some strange ability, and now, we'll show him just how scary this world can be. Kim found himself inside a tall building, stretched out on a massage table. He let out a relaxed sigh as warm hands worked along his shoulders. Man, having money really is amazing, he murmured. I never imagined I'd be able to get a massage in a place like this. Living inside this game is honestly better than real life. But just as he was starting to enjoy himself, a sharp bolt of pain shot through his arm. TCH, again. He frowned. I spent 3 whole days resting in this hotel, and my arm still hurts. He clenched his teeth. I need to think twice before using mutant transformation again. I already knew trait changing wasn't some godlike power. Every time I use a new trait, my body changes along with it. And the more traits I stack, the more dangerous the side effects become. He stared at his trembling fingers. But then again, how am I supposed to survive in this world if I don't use my traits? As he stood by the window, something at the pool caught his eye. A man lay lazily on a chair. That's the Iron Fist gang, right? Kim muttered. Still acting like they own the place. Arcane Soul wasn't ruled by law, it was ruled by local gangsters. And honestly, it made sense. With monsters roaming everywhere, ordinary people had no choice but to rely on superhumans like them. Kim exhaled. I've survived a few days here, but depending only on traits is stupid. A sly grin curled on his lips. In the end, everything comes down to items. That evening, Kim walked into a small shop. The owner glanced at him. Here to sell something? She asked. Yeah, Kim replied. Monster-related items. She eyed his plain clothes. Let me warn you, I don't buy level 0 mana cores. I know, Kim said calmly, reaching into his bag. He pulled out a large blue mana core. I want to sell this. The girl's eyes widened. That's a level 2 mana core. Kim chuckled. Yep. Take a good look. Watching her shocked expression made him strangely satisfied. I grinded all day in the hotel room for this. I merged every low-level core I had, and luckily managed to evolve it into level 2. Prices depend entirely on level. This is the fastest way to get rich. She transferred 4.77 million to him without hesitation. Kim accepted the money with a cheerful grin. He asked, do you also sell weapons and armor? Her eyes lit up. Of course. Come with me. Inside her storage room, Kim's jaw dropped. Shelves upon shelves of equipment surrounded him. It's like everything from the game is here. Take your time choosing, she said proudly. Kim smirked. Looks like it's time to gear up. Soon he was walking down the street, his bag overflowing with guns and gear. Now this feels like I'm really playing Arcane Soul, he said proudly. Just then, a girl called from behind, excuse me. Are you a mercenary? I need help. Kim waved his hands quickly. Nope, not me. You should find someone else. But the girl hurried forward, pulling out a stack of bills. I'm here on a business trip, and I'm terrified of the Iron Fist gang. Please. Could you escort me safely? Kim blinked. 5,000. For one day. This feels like a simple daily quest, and I've got enough weapons to try it out. He placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. How could I leave a lady in danger? All right, let's go. She smiled gratefully. Rain began to fall as they walked. We're almost there, she said. Kim scanned the empty surroundings. Why does she live in such a dead area? There's not even an ant around. She took a sharp turn into a narrow alley. It's right here, she said, hurrying ahead. Kim followed, frowning. It's getting too dark, I can't see anything. A sudden glow pulsed through his eyes, his pupils flashing golden. Night vision trait. I didn't accept this, he muttered. But hey, more traits are always good. Then, the girl suddenly aimed a gun at his forehead. You're sharper than I expected, she said coldly. Kim stiffened. A gun. What is this, a trap? A voice echoed behind him. Where do you think you're going, Junior? Kim turned to find Deer, the man he once helped, along with several familiar faces from his past. Deer laughed. Feels good to see you again in a place like this, right? Kim growled. What did I even do to deserve this? You. Deer chuckled. Nothing. You just looked stupid. Kim instantly bolted, sprinting away. That sneaky rat. Deer shouted. You start talking and then run. Shoot his leg. Bang. The bullet hit Kim's bag, and he crashed down the steps. Deer groaned. I said his leg, not his waist. The girl shrugged. Whatever. This is better than letting him escape. He's dead anyway, Deer muttered. Sell his mutant-turned-human body to a mage, we'll get good money. They approached the corpse, only to discover Kim had vanished. What? Deer's eyes widened. Where'd the body go? A lone streetlight flickered, and shattered. Someone screamed behind them. One of Deer's teammates was struck down by something unseen. How is he still alive? Deer shouted. From the darkness, Kim's voice echoed. I was right. There's no way I'd die at the hands of someone I once saved. His eyes gleamed gold, night vision active. Good thing I was wearing a bulletproof vest. It even gave me the trait I wanted. At that moment, a notification flashed in his mind. New trait acquired, playing dead. A perfect ability, for someone who refused to die so easily. Kim's punch landed with a thunderous crack, sending Deer skidding across the ground. Blood dripped down the man's cheek as he wiped it away and spat curses, hurling a wild kick at Kim. But Kim slipped aside as if it were nothing, driving a counterpunch straight into Deer's jaw. You should be grateful to me, Kim said coldly. Is trying to kill the man who saved your life really the smartest choice? Deer staggered, collapsing toward the ground. Kim stepped in, ready to deliver another brutal kick, but a sudden gunshot rang out. The girl who had been standing to the side had fired at him. She rushed to Deer. Are you okay? Kim glanced at the wound on his own side and clicked his tongue. Careless, far too careless. In Arcane Soul, the most dangerous thing wasn't monsters or mutants. It was humans. I was an idiot to trust people here, he thought, drawing his gun. But I won't make the same mistake twice. He fired, hitting the girl in the hands, then turned the gun on her partner beside her. That's enough, he muttered. His gaze shifted to Deer. To stay safe, maybe I should end him too. But before he could move, Deer suddenly appeared behind him. What? A savage kick slammed into Kim, sending his gun flying across the floor. And Kim froze. Deer's legs were transforming. In that life-or-death moment, Deer had awakened, a level -1 superhuman. Kim stared, shocked. You've got to be kidding me. Then came the anger, aimed not at Deer, but at the developers of this insane world. He explained under his breath, any character can awaken, and awakening is the only way to become strong here. And now I have to fight a level -1 superhuman, with this ordinary body. Deer bared his teeth. I'll kill you. A level -1 superhuman could easily overpower any normal human, even one armed with an automatic gun. Deer vanished. Kim's heart lurched. Where did he go? Then he understood. Deer had awakened with two skills, stereoscopic movement and simple kicking. The first allowed him to move in any direction with terrifying freedom. Deer sprang onto the wall behind Kim, then launched downward with a crushing kick. Kim barely dodged. The floor where the kick landed shattered like glass. How did you dodge that? Deer snarled. Fine. Try dodging this. He used his kicking skill again, descending like a meteor, and when his strike connected, Deer grinned in triumph. But a calm voice answered. Sorry. I had no intention of dodging this time. Deer blinked. Kim had blocked the attack with his weapon. Buying this weapon was definitely the right call, Kim thought. The story jumped back to a few hours earlier, where Kim stood inside a weapon shop, hesitating at a gun. Would buying a gun really be worth it? He wondered. He was a warrior. Warrior-type characters didn't handle guns well. So instead, he'd chosen a close-range weapon, a proper warrior-class tool. This will work. And now, facing Deer, he pushed forward with everything he had. I have to fight him at close range. His strike slammed Deer into the ground so hard that dust exploded around the impact. A notification chimed in his mind. New trait acquired, strike. Kim stared at his weapon, a grin spreading across his face. Finally, a skill meant for my class. Strike, a warrior-exclusive skill. Kim unleashed a flurry of attacks from multiple directions, overwhelming Deer. Desperate, Deer tried to counter, rushing in with a powerful kick. Kim saw the attack coming and hesitated for an instant. Should I stop? Dodge? No. Even if my bones break, I'll keep attacking. He swung with all his strength, slamming the weapon into Deer's leg. Both attacks collided, and Kim's weapon suddenly burst with a blue glow. New trait acquired, combo. Kim's eyes widened. Yes. Early in the game, the strongest warrior build was strike plus combo. Kim activated both skills, unleashing a storm of relentless attacks. Deer's defenses crumbled. With a final roar, Kim delivered a full-force strike straight to Deer's chest. The awakened man crashed to the ground, unmoving. Kim raised both arms and shouted, "I finally defeated an awakened Deer." But then, steam poured from his hands. His skin felt like it was burning from the inside out. What is this? My body, something's coming out of me, no way, don't tell me, a massive surge erupted from within him. Golden flames burst from his body, swirling like a rising storm. Kim stared at himself in disbelief. He had awakened. Kim had become a level -1 superhuman. Kim stared at his own body, now glowing faintly with a golden sheen, and a single word echoed in his mind, superhuman. A wild grin split across his face. He threw his head back and shouted to the sky, "I finally became a superhuman." Overwhelmed with joy, he even stuck his tongue out like an idiot, balancing on his head as he laughed. Not only will I get high-paying mercenary offers, I'll even get low-interest bank loans. His victory celebration, however, ended abruptly. A voice rasped behind him, low and amused, cigar smoke curling in the air. "So you've gone and done it, huh?" Kim froze. When he turned, his heart dropped. A massive man stood there, a machine gun strapped across his back, his silhouette far too familiar. Iron Fist Kim. Second basic character in Arcane Soul, right after Warrior Kim. Reinforced soldier class, master of firearms, a specialist who relied on a prosthetic arm for precision shooting. But beyond that, he was the merciless boss of the Iron Fist gang, the underworld's infamous nightmare. If I fought in their turf, I must have seriously pissed them off, Iron Fist's voice rumbled like distant thunder. Did you check where you were before making this mess? Kim gulped. I was attacked out of nowhere, I couldn't just die there. Iron Fist chambered around, metal clicking ominously. So you're telling me they were scarier than the Iron Fist gang? A gun. Damn it, in this condition, I'll die for nothing, the barrel pointed straight at Kim's chest. Buddy, Iron Fist growled, you've made one hell of a mistake. Let me show you what happens when someone soils our territory. Kim's expression darkened. Oh, is that so? But you missed one thing, in a blur of speed, he snatched the gun. I'm not the type to die that easily, he said, and pressed the muzzle against his own chest. The gun fired. The bullet tore straight through him. Iron Fist stared, dumbfounded. He pulled the trigger himself. What the hell? Iron Fist muttered. But Kim only cracked his neck as warm light surged through his wound. It just tickles. Regeneration, an upgraded version of the wound recovery trait, unlocked only after reaching level 1 superhuman. If I let him underestimate me, I'm done for, bluff it is. Kim pointed behind himself with a sinister smirk. As you can see, I didn't survive through luck. I don't care who you are, if you mess with me, Warrior Kim, you'd better brace yourself. Iron Fist blinked. Warrior Kim, huh? That your name? A grin stretched under his cigar. I like your guts. Fine, I'll let you go this time, consider yourself in my debt. He placed his heavy prosthetic hand on Kim's shoulder. You know what that means. Kim forced a smile. I'll remember. Did he recognize me? Iron Fist extended his hand. Let's work on a job together next time. Kim thought for a moment. Iron Fist Kim isn't the type to betray an ally, building a connection with him might not be bad. Sounds good. See you next time. They shook hands. Jamsil Superhuman Tower later, Kim stood before the towering building of glass and luxury, removing his glasses as he admired it. I never realized how incredible it looked in-game, it's nothing like my old neighborhood. A beautiful receptionist stepped forward, bowing politely. Welcome to Superhuman Tower. How may I assist you? Kim's cheeks warmed. He stared a little too long. What the, she's gorgeous. But she looks familiar, is she an NPC? If you're here for superhuman certification, she continued, please proceed to that machine. It will measure your mana and trait circuits. Thank you, Kim said, heading toward it. She even guided me without asking. I must look like such a rookie. Anyway, once I get certified, I can finally start my real life in Arkansas. But suddenly, light burst across the hall. What the? Gasps rose from the crowd. Look at the ceiling. It's the Saintess. The Saintess is here. Saintess. But, that's just an airship, right? A beam of pure light dropped from the airship and touched down right before him. Recognition jolted through Kim. Old Father's order, why are they here? A girl descended, red mask, serene smile. Why is a boss monster here? The people bowed and cleared the way. Saintess of the Old Father's order. It's an honor. Kim swallowed. Right, in the tutorial timeline, she's still a saintess. Only later is it revealed the order is actually a cult that'll attack civilians indiscriminately. She stepped onto the mana measuring platform. Instantly, a violent gust spiraled outward, blasting everyone back. Kim shielded himself with his hand. What kind of mana measurement is this? When the wind stopped, everyone stared at the display board. Saintess, level 27, priest class mana level. 8 trait circuit, 6 layered, what in the world? Level 8. She has 6 traits. That's insane. Kim's face drained of color. A level 8 superhuman, that's on the scale of an aircraft carrier strike force. A national level walking weapon, and she'll destroy Seoul in the future. Not that anyone would believe him now. I should just measure my mana and leave. He stepped onto the machine. If a rookie shows 6 traits, I'll draw too much attention, let's lower it to 3. But the Saintess suddenly turned. Her attendant whispered, Your Eminence. Something wrong. There seems to be an uncommon individual. She glided behind Kim like a ghost. You possess quite an intriguing ability, she said softly. Kim nearly jumped out of his skin. Holy. You scared me. Wait. Did she sense that I switched my traits? How? He looked back at her smiling mask, and terror crawled up his spine. The crowd murmured restlessly as the Saintess approached Kim. Why would the Saintess speak to him? He looks like a total nobody, but she ignored them all. Instead, the Saintess gently took Kim's hand, her fingers cold against his skin. Sir, she said softly, may I ask for your name? Kim stiffened. It's Warrior Kim. His thoughts swirled in panic. In Arcane Soul, a priestess only asks for someone's name for one reason. Then, Warrior Kim, she whispered, eyes glimmering with an eerie light, in the name of the Old Father's order, I hereby baptize you. Golden letters flared across both their hands. The Old Father, she continued, voice filled with zeal, Lord of the Black Gold Throne, has always hungered for rare powers like yours. Submit to him, and find peace in this cruel world. Around them, the onlookers grew excited. He's being baptized. I'm jealous. For the Old Father's first daughter to baptize someone personally. But Kim's face went pale. Damn it. If I get baptized, I'll be forced into becoming a paladin of the Order. But in the future war against South Korea, the Order loses 2 of its key figures. This path is a dead end, he made up his mind. With a sharp breath, he pulled his hand away from the Saintess. Like dumping all your savings into a stock guaranteed to be delisted, he thought grimly. Gasps exploded through the hall. Kim dropped to one knee and declared, I refuse the baptism. The Saintess's smile vanished. Her eyes darkened. No, she said icily. I must have misheard. You didn't, Kim said, still kneeling. I'm serious. Her voice chilled to the bone. Very well. It is one's freedom to serve the Old Father, or refuse him. But know this, she gripped his shoulder, her fingers digging in. The Old Father has already marked you. A black flame erupted where she touched him. Do not forget, she whispered, that a holy mote has taken root inside you. The flame spread, dark, golden, horrifying. Kim screamed as it engulfed his body. What an idiot. Who refuses the Saintess? Is he anti-religion? Poor guy, the system prompt flashed in his mind. You have obtained the trait, Divine Fever. You will suffer unending burning pain as punishment for refusing baptism. Kim's thoughts trembled. I was prepared for this, but it feels like my whole body's on fire. Divine Fever, one of the deadliest debuffs in all of Arcane Soul. Endless burning agony. Life-ruining torment. The only cure, surrender and get baptized. I refused because of the future, but I might actually die right now, his vision blurred. Someone splashed water on his face. He blinked weakly. A girl knelt beside him, holding a water bottle. Are you okay, Mr. Warrior? She asked anxiously. She's the receptionist from earlier, but no one helps those afflicted by divine fever, they're afraid the curse will spread. She helped me anyway. With sheer will, Kim stood up. Fine. I can endure a little longer. A new notification appeared. Trait acquired, divine restraint. Good. I didn't refuse recklessly. Divine fever grows stronger based on the target's total mana. But he was only a level 1 superhuman, so the debuff was relatively weak. That left him a tiny chance. First condition, obtain divine resistance. I need more mana, now. He gathered his inner mana. The flames exploded even more violently, and Kim screamed. The girl panicked and poured more water on him. You can do it. Someone shouted. Kim gritted his teeth. This feels like the water of life, fire and water. Burning pain and cold reason. I need to focus on the contrast. If I use my mana correctly, I can extinguish the fire. Suddenly, the fire and the water inside him intertwined, melding into a rotating yin-yang. His eyes snapped open. The black flames flared, then shattered into sparks. A new trait formed. Trait acquired, mana barrier. Kim stood up straight, breathing hard, but smiling. I did it. The tier 1 defensive trait every warrior needs, mana barrier. Oh my goodness, are you alright? The girl asked. Kim brushed his chest. Yeah, I'm okay now. Really? Thanks to you. The spectators watched in disbelief. He overcame divine fever. That's impossible. Did he cheat somehow? Kim smirked. I didn't overcome it completely. Mana barrier is just suppressing the pain for now. But still, I'm free. And the black flame looks kinda cool. He turned to the girl. Alright. Time to measure my mana. He stepped onto the machine. The numbers climbed rapidly. Measurement complete. A hologram appeared. Warrior Kim age, 22 mana level, 1 trait circuit, 6 layered. The hall erupted. 6 traits at level 1. The birth of a super rookie. Kim winced. Great, way too much attention. I wanted to grow quietly. And I can't hide my traits because of the barrier, the receptionist smiled brightly. Congratulations, sir. I've never seen anyone begin with a 6-layered circuit. Shall we issue your superhuman license? Superhuman Registry Office, here's your license, she said, handing it over. Congratulations on becoming an officially certified superhuman. Kim stared at it emotionally. I worked so hard just to get this, she laughed. Now, allow me to explain the special privileges of a level 1 superhuman. He waved his hand. No need. I know. Tax reduction, weapon carrying rights, and at higher levels, full tax exemption, immunity from arrest, free transport access, all that. Her eyes widened. You know everything, because I'm a game addy. He stopped. I mean, a doctor in superhumanology. She tilted her head. He smiled awkwardly. Anyway, seems I'm attracting too much attention. Is there a way to leave quietly? Of course. I already prepared one. Kim blushed slightly as she turned. He followed her down a quiet hallway. You've helped me so much, Kim said. A stealth cloak, and a secret passage, really, thank you. We're superhumans, she said gently. We should help each other. A notification flashed. Trait acquired, stealth. Hell yeah. Free trait. She pointed to a hidden door. After this, you'll be outside. I can only accompany you this far due to protocol. This is more than enough, Kim said gratefully. Thank you for everything today. Have a safe trip back, she said softly. Kim walked away, then paused, pulling out her business card. She's incredibly kind and beautiful. I should repay her someday. Her name is, he read it. And froze. Wait, Baekso Rin. Baekso Rin. One of the 3 strongest SSR rank warrior characters in the entire game. A berserker feared for her terrifying appearance. In the game, she always looked so scary. Kim could never imagine that the real Baekso Rin was this gentle, this kind. His mouth hung open. As she walked away, he whispered, stunned, to think Baekso Rin used to be such a warm, kind person. Thank goodness she's okay. He clenched his fist. Just what in the world happened to her in the future? The scene shifted. Kim's voice echoed through the damp cave as he cut down another slime. The last one, he exhaled, shoulders drooping. Superhuman, my ass. I've been cleaning monster caves for a whole damn week. His cheeks were hollow like he hadn't eaten in months. I'm gonna die of overwork at this rate, he thought, dragging himself forward. Just one cave finished and I'm already exhausted. My efficiency is trash, absolutely trash. He pulled up his trait window, clicking his tongue. All my traits are poured into maintaining this stupid mana barrier. If I could customize it just a little, shift it toward monster cave cleaning, I would have been done hours ago. But the shimmering barrier around him pulsed with that same annoying debuff. And I can't do any other job because of this damn divine fever. If only I had a bottle of Nacrate, but that potion costs a fortune. At this rate, this cleaning job won't even make a dent. He slumped to the ground, defeated. Then, ring, ring. Kim glared at the caller ID. Director Jui. How many times is this guy gonna call? Persistent bastard. He hovered over the decline button. I'm done with you, buddy. But then he paused. Wait. A slow, wicked grin stretched across his face. I just thought of a great idea. At Cheonsu Agency, Director Jui welcomed him like a golden retriever greeting its owner. Oh my, Mr. Warrior Kim. The man bowed practically in half. The one who overcame divine fever without baptism. The man who started with a 6-layered circuit. He pushed a glass of juice at Kim with both hands. Kim took a sip, pretending to be humble. Yeah, well, things just worked out that way. Anyway, he said, did you find the work I requested? The director groaned dramatically. Don't even get me started. It was unbelievably difficult. He scrolled through his tablet. Nacrate can only be obtained from requests for level 5 superhumans or higher. Kim shrugged, turning to leave. If you didn't get it, that's fine. Wait. The director practically jumped. This involves my exclusive contract with you. Of course I got it. A smile tugged at Kim's lips. I knew it. This guy's desperate enough for a superhuman contract that he'd dig up a quest with nectar as the reward. Kim pretended not to care. So, what's the request? The director showed him a file. Have you heard of Number 1 Security? Kim squinted at the photo. Number 1 Security. First time. A security firm. It's a private military company, top 10 in the industry. The CEO and vice CEO are a married couple, both from prestigious martial arts families. Then what could a wealthy family like that need? Their son. He pulled up the son's profile photo. Kim studied it. Already over 20, but not awakened. Rumor says he's acquired level 8 mana. He just hasn't awakened. Their request conditions required a warrior-type level 1 superhuman, perfect for Kim. He smirked. Let's go meet them. In a luxurious mansion, Kim and the director waited. Kim stared around. This house alone must cost more than my lifetime earnings. The couple finally arrived. Apologies for making you wait, they said. We are the clients, CEO Young Jun and Lee Marie. The director leapt up, bowing frantically. Kim bowed more calmly, thinking, level 6 superhumans, minimum. Their mana is insane. They sat. Marie spoke first. Since you've come all the way here, I assume you're accepting our request. Kim kept his tone steady. Before that, I'd like to check your son's condition. There might be a special reason preventing his awakening. But Youngju slammed the table. Why would I tell that to a rookie like you? Marie pulled him back gently. Honey. Then turning to Kim, I apologize. It's related to our child, so he's emotional. We can't tell outsiders yet. If you accept, we'll call him. She paused, looking at Kim knowingly. You're in direct need of nectar, aren't you? Kim froze. So there is a secret about their son. And they know exactly what I need, I'm getting more certain by the second. He smiled. All right. I'll accept. Please call him. Their son entered soon after, holding onto his mother's arm. Hello. I'm Woo Jin. Kim stood, offering a polite handshake, then froze. I can't feel any mana from him. He noticed the glove on Woo Jin's hand. Mr. Woo Jin, that's a pretty cool glove. Woo Jin blushed. Ah, yes. I always use it gratefully. Of course, Kim said lightly. You'd need a very strong mana sealing glove. All three of them stiffened in shock. Kim's confident smile widened. The moment I saw it, I knew. Even though this concerns a critical family matter, you deliberately narrowed the request conditions to summon a level 1 warrior. And you used nectar as bait. He looked at Wu Jin. You've been baptized by the Old Father Order, haven't you? Your son hasn't awakened because he rejected the baptism, and sealed away his mana to avoid divine fever. The parents paled. And while you couldn't announce it publicly, you heard the rumor about a level 1 superhuman surviving divine fever. So you came to me. Wu Jin's eyes glowed with admiration. Amazing, A-. You really figured that out instantly. You're like the protagonist of a mystery novel. Kim chuckled. Just reading the situation. But inside, he grinned wickedly. Once you know the future, there's nothing to fear. In the future, Xiao Wujin becomes the vanguard paladin of the Old Father Order. He refused the baptism until his parents lost power, then joined by force. But now, he's in my hands. Wu Jin's father leaned forward with an earnest face. Sir, is there a way for our son to avoid baptism? Kim smirked. Just a minute ago, this guy was acting all high and mighty. Look at him now. Of course there is, Kim said warmly. I spent 10,000 hours in Arcane Soul. Of course I know. He placed a hand on Wu Jin's shoulder. Mr. Wu Jin, I know the pain. I suffered through it too. Trust me. I'll get you out. Wu Jin's eyes welled up. Sir, I don't care if they call you a saintess or whatever. Please help me. Kim hugged him lightly to hide his grin. Trying to baptize me into some lowly cult. Not happening. Your future subordinate is already on my side. Kim slowly released Wu Jin from the hug and straightened up. However, he said, before we begin the treatment, I'd like to add a condition. Pardon. An additional condition. Sun Jia stammered. Kim nodded. The difficulty of this request just increased, didn't it? Myra's eyes glistened. I see, indeed. Since this isn't only about mana awakening anymore, but overcoming divine fever, please go ahead. If you can save our Wu Jin, anything is fine. Kim clasped his hands behind his back. Then, as the additional condition, I'd like you to teach me mountain-breaking swordsmanship. The room froze. Both parents' expressions hardened instantly, and a lethal aura seeped into the air. The director sat as still as a corpse, pretending he didn't exist. Mira stepped forward, her voice low. Do you fully understand what you just requested? Her killing intent washed over him like a tidal wave. What is this overwhelming aura? The vice CEO is way scarier than the CEO, Kim thought. From behind her, Young Jia whispered, honey, go easy on him. Kim swallowed. I get why she's angry. Mountain-breaking swordsmanship. In the 21st century information era, I only picked up swords as a hobby. But in Arcane Soul, strength equals authority. A superhuman swordsman can destroy a tank with one swing. High-level martial arts are worth more than a fighter jet squadron, literal trillions. He continued thinking, a level 1 superhuman who learns mountain-breaking swordsmanship can reach level 4 effortlessly. It's basically a cheat code for the early game. Only the elites are allowed to learn it. Did I cross the line? Trying to keep his face steady, Kim said, of course, this is only if I successfully complete the request. Mom, Wu Jin called quietly. Mira let out a breath and her aura retracted. Fine. If you succeed, I'll also give you a memory chip containing mountain-breaking swordsmanship, along with the nectar. Kim's eyes widened. Really? He lowered his head gratefully, while an evil grin curled inside his mind. It worked. I thought she was going to kill me, but I'm getting the swordsmanship too. Perfect. Mira hesitated. However, if you fail, my husband and I will be sincerely disappointed. Possibly even angry. That won't happen. Kim's confidence was unshakable. Let's begin right away. Mira guided them into a large, dim room lined with runes. At the center was a large mana-focusing circle, surrounded by crates of potions. And 200 intermediate-grade mana potions, she said. Everything you requested. Kim nodded. This should be enough. I prefer to be alone with the patient during the treatment. So if you could excuse us, Mira paused at the door. Sorry, about earlier. Our Wu Jin was forcefully baptized before he even started school. He never had friends. Never went on a family picnic. He suffered, trapped in his room. We've grown sensitive because of it. From here on, we entrust him completely to you. Behind Kim, Woo Jin wiped his tears. Kim thought, their whole family suffered because of that Saintess trap. No wonder, in the game, Woo Jin eventually rejected his parents and grew cold. Now it makes sense. Mom, Woo Jin whispered, I'm fine. Kim clenched his fist. Yeah, I feel kinda bad for the guy. He looked at Woo Jin and smiled. Don't worry. I'll succeed, no matter what. Kim stretched with a big yawn. Now then, it's just the two of us. Let's get started. Woo Jin trembled. What should I do? Why are you shaking? Relax, man, Kim said, bewildered. Aren't you going to torture me with drugs or electrocute me to force my awakening? Woo Jin asked, picturing syringes and electrodes. Kim blinked. What kind of treatments have you even been receiving? He sighed internally. Normally, you cure divine fever by drinking nectar after awakening. But this kid, he has too much mana bottled inside him. The fever is too severe for him to awaken normally. Kim rummaged through the potions. You don't need to worry. Just remember one thing, keep everything you see today a secret. Woo Jin nodded. I promise. Good. I'm starting. Kim spread his fingers wide. A shimmering barrier swelled outward. First, I expand the mana barrier to the absolute limit. After that, the barrier will weaken and, it's hot. The divine fever started clawing at him instantly. He uncorked the potions. Now's the time. Kim chugged potion after potion, face twisted. It tastes terrible, he muttered, gagging. Then, a trait appeared, drug addiction. Damage and mana consumption increased, but drug efficiency soared. Kim smirked. Perfect. Now if I focus mana into the shield, a massive barrier flared to life. Area shield activated. A shield spread across the entire circle. Kim's expression brightened. The divine fever, it's completely pushed out of the barrier. Woo Jin's eyes sparkled. That's amazing. Too early to celebrate. Kim pointed at Woo Jin's glove. Take off your mana sealing glove. Pardon. And stick your hand through the barrier. Then grab mine. Then the divine fevers will resonate. Woo Jin panicked. Kim stepped outside the barrier, and holy flames engulfed him instantly. It'll be bearable for you inside the barrier. Just follow my instructions. Woo Jin trembled. This is the first time I'm removing the glove since being baptized. He slipped the glove off. Mana burst out in a visible wave. Kim's eyes widened. Just how much mana does this kid have? Woo Jin reached out. This is terrifying, but I have to grab his hand. He touched Kim's palm, and a tidal wave of divine fever slammed into Kim with thrice the intensity. It hurts worse than when the Saintess baptized me. My bones feel like they're shattering. But I have to endure. Screw the Saintess. Screw the divine fever. Woo Jin, panicking, dragged Kim back inside the barrier. A new trait appeared. Damage absorption. Kim could sponge part of another's damage. He gasped, success. Woo Jin flexed his bare hand. It's bearable. Exactly, Kim exhaled. With the barrier and damage absorption, your divine fever is weakened. Now, final stage. Kim picked up a wooden training sword. Attack me until you awaken. Woo Jin nodded, gripping his blade. This swordsmanship, the one I've prepared since childhood. He dashed forward, Kim barely dodged. He broke an iron armguard, with a wooden sword. Another trait flashed. Protect. Kim grimaced. Even with this trait, one hit might kill me, and this is from someone who hasn't even awakened. What kind of monster swordsmanship did they teach this kid? Woo Jin lunged again. Kim leapt skyward. Evasion trait acquired. Steam rose around Woo Jin. He's awakening, Kim breathed. A golden aura flared from Woo Jin's body. His sword gleamed the same color. Then a panel materialized before him. Seo Woo Jin, SSS R rank trait. One with the sword. Kim's jaw dropped. One with the sword. A trait where the sword becomes a person. That's insanely overpowered for a warrior type. Woo Jin, in a trance, dashed at him at terrifying speed. A slash streaked toward Kim. If that hits, I'm dead.